Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have metal band Along Came a Spider.
What's going on?
Hello.
I try to breathe, but stuck beneath the waves. Keep on pulling me under. Every time I try to find a way, you keep on pulling me under.
Guys, I want to just go around the room. Tell me your name, what instrument you play, and some of your musical influences.
Shit tank.
I'm Shit Tank, aka Joel Sedlak. I play keyboards and musical influences. Well, as a keyboard player, I did listen to a lot of like symphonic metal coming up. Bands like Symphony X, Epica. But as soon as that metalcore transition happened, where the synth crabcore came into play, it was perfect. That was all me. Yep, crab people.
Well, I'm Calo. I play bass in the band, and for me, musical influences on my instrument for sure is Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses and Duncan Coots from Our Lady Peace. Just kind of like funky groovesmen, but still like staying in the rock pocket. Yeah.
I'm Luke. I play guitar. As far as musical influences go, everything from Prince to Primus to Protest the Hero to Prodigy and other bands that don't start with P.
Like you didn't say Coheed?
Yeah, other bands that don't start with P.
Oh, okay, all right.
Progressive rock.
Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how your band formed?
That's a good question. So, none of us in the band at the moment actually were part of the formation of Along Came a Spider. They had a whole different crew. You know, they did an EP. That's kind of where I jumped in. Was I really liked that EP, and so I started doing keys, and then kind of just like, you know, one person leaves, you take that spot, another person leaves, and then, you know, so he took my spot, and it was just like we just kind of all came together. We found Jamie online. You know, we were just browsing YouTube stuff after one of our singers quit, and it was just kind of like, hey, that guy's really good.
Find a guy doing vocal covers that fits the bill, and
Yeah, and then he just clicked. We literally met him, and like, what, 4 days later, we were on tour with him. So,
yeah.
So we just kind of like all kind of naturally got into ACAST. But the crew that we do have now pretty much been together 7 to 9 years, you know what I mean, of the 11 years that the band's been around. So
yeah,
we've been here a while, but we're not the OGs either. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
What city is your band based out of?
So we always tell everyone that we're from Cleveland, Ohio, and London, Ontario, or like Chatham, Ontario, because that's where our singer lives and resides.
Yeah, the rest of us are pretty close here. We're all in Ohio. If not in Cleveland, then just a stone's throw from Cleveland. So we definitely hail from Cleveland, but we got to give props to our Canadian boy.
Oh, and I mean, he drives from Akron to come practice and stuff. So
Metal.
So metal.
Most people watching this won't know that. Just think that's where LeBron's from.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's the kid from Akron.
When the pandemic hit and live music was locked down for that whole year, what did you guys do during that time?
Oh, that's a good one. We were sitting on a shitload of content, so we just gradually put it out. Like, instead of just putting out the record, we were just putting out singles. it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, it was just kind of good timing that we had recorded the record already, and we were getting ready to kind of put it out, and we were like, well, screw it. Now every song can be a separate release leading up to, we didn't want to put the record out until we could support it in some way. So we had to wait until the Incarceration Festival. Well, we didn't have to, but we wanted to. You figure get in front of as many people as you can. So it was like we just released single and single and single. And we're kind of new to that whole Spotify world. So we ended up using that to our advantage. Like at one point we had, what, 30,000 listeners. Each song was getting on big playlists and things like that. So it was like we kind of had to learn the new way of releasing, but we still wanted to do a record. You know what I mean? So,
well, and I'd say for us, it was almost like a countdown. Each single was getting closer to that album release. The big payoff at the end of the road.
Which is different than we ever done it before. This was our third record, so the first two, it was like, cool, you put out one or two singles the couple weeks before the record, and then you just pray. This one was kind of, we built our fan base up little by little, and it ended up being our most successful release to date, so it's kind of like, all right.
And it was independent.
Yeah.
After the lockdown lifted and you played out, did the audience feel like they were more engaged? There's more energy coming from the audience when you played out?
Yeah, I would say so, 100%. People were basically starved for live music. I myself went ham on stage at Incarceration.
Right.
I had a blast.
Yeah, we had a little built-up energy ourselves.
Yeah, we went hard waiting so long to play live, and the fans reciprocated that energy. You could tell a lot of them, it had been their first show after the pandemic.
Yeah, and I mean, it was we played kind of early on the first day of the festival, and we're playing with Slipknot and Chevelle and Rob Zombie and bands like that. So there was already some star power, but we were kind of expecting like maybe like a row or two of people. No, it was like all the way to the back, slam packed, like probably 6,000-7,000 people. We just fed off that of like, oh crap, we're back, like
felt good. Felt real good.
Your band just released Blackhole in September, and you guys made it on Billboard. How did that feel?
Awesome.
Career milestone. It was huge. It was a big deal.
I think we've talked about this before, how we appreciate the small things, and that also helps us to appreciate the big things even more. But we take every little goal and mile marker as a big success. And so, getting on Billboard, that was something we looked forward to for a long time. So it really was heartwarming to actually make that happen, and for the fans to help us make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it was one of those things that we had tried each record. That was always the goal. We were like, we want to do well, but we didn't really, there was just certain things that our label didn't do, or maybe certain things that maybe the timing wasn't right. So everything had to align for this to happen. And so it was such a big goal of ours, and it took months and months and months, years of work even. So when it did actually drop, it was almost kind of surreal. We were like, holy crap, we did it. Like, you know what I mean? Like not every band goes from, practice studios to charting on Billboard. So we do take those kind of things, with a lot of gratefulness. Like, it was kind of hard work paying off.
I'm still in shock about it.
Yeah. long time in the making.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go into some of your songs on that album. Galaxy Eyes. There's like a couple parts in there where like the band drops out and it's just the keyboards and the vocals. Now, was that something you planned before you went in the studio, or is that something you figured out while you were in there to do something like that?
That's a darn good question.
Yeah. Okay. All right. As the key player, I'll chime in on this. I think Yes and no, because a lot of things happened in studio that were sort of a spur of the moment decision to spice up a certain part of the song. But I think as a band trying to progress and take the next step, we had agreed ahead of time, and it definitely came through on some of our pre-pro that there would be more parts that were not simple, but not the whole band playing all at once. Because a lot of our music previous to that was, everybody jamming hard for most of the time,
whole
all the way
time.
through the song. So we wanted to open some things up and let certain parts shine, like just keys or just bass, even on Reckoning in the verse. And, especially in Galaxy Eyes and the Hollow with the keys and just Jamie going. So, yeah, both. It was,
Yeah, I would say there was kind of a collective thing to kind of reverberate what he said, is like it was just riff-tastic, and that's thanks to this guy. It's just always like we were always going. We never really needed to have that dynamic because we were going from riffs to breakdowns to all that kind of stuff. We had decided kind of beforehand that we wanted to make a more accessible record, and to do that, you kind of had to follow different formulas that bigger rock bands that we wanted to, play with kind of stuff. We had played with everybody in the metalcore scene, like almost everyone, so we wanted to change it up a little bit, and I think that kind of came across in the songs and in the songwriting in the studio, where it was like, hey, like let's back off on this. We have this guy who can make incredible programming and sounds, like let's use it instead of having it be just kind of background filler like it used to be. So, yeah. But some of it was just kind of like, hey, let's do this here, let's do that here. The studio is very organic. We went to Evan McKeever, who he plays in a band called Nine Shrines, but he's produced for like Lone Wolf and different bands like that. So Orchards and things like that. So, he brought a different side of us out, and that was kind of purposeful.
I am the needle in her vein. I'm what she craves. Fake plastic smile on her face. It's all a game. She loves the taste. Black lace and blood red lips. Digs her nails into my skin. It's all for me.
I wanted to go into American Beauty. It's a brutal song musically and lyrically. When you get into relationships and sometimes you're being tortured and stuff. That's what I got from the song and the lyrics and stuff. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Well, that's a pretty good assessment of the song.
Pretty much. I mean, we wanted to get a little weird with it and explore some different things that we hadn't done before, and that was kind of the take this relationship or whatever it is, this thing between two people, and kind of make it a little darker, a little, we hadn't really done that. We always kind of wrote songs with funny song titles and things like that. So we just wanted to switch up what we were talking about. We didn't want to make the same record again.
Yeah, I think we were definitely going for a dark feel with that.
It's kind of like Jamie got into a certain character for that song.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, we really, I don't know if this is jumping the gun on a question or not, but Evan really brought out a different side of Jamie's vocals. So it was kind of, we were just experimenting in there, like, hey, make him sound meaner here, make him sound more aggressive here. Like Jamie has such a beautiful soaring voice, but we wanted to kind of bring out a little more grit on this record. So that was kind of the byproduct of it, is, like, if you're gonna do something, commit to it. So it's like, if we're making a song that's kind of weird, let's make it all the way that way.
Yeah, and it was was interesting to try to get those different dynamics without him screaming. If you listen to this whole record, there's very little screaming from Jamie. He does most of it, but there's not that much in our sound anymore.
Like lead screams.
Yeah, lead screams.
Which was also on purpose.
Yeah.
Another song on your album is Invisible Disease, and you have a video that goes with it. And I wanted to know how you came up with that idea for the video and everything.
Well, that would be me. We left our record label and we kind of we had saved up for a budget for the American Beauty video, but that pretty much depleted our whole budget because we went to our buddy Vince, who's like top level pro. So it was kind of like for any other content we needed, we had to go in house. And luckily, I know how to do that kind of stuff. Like Galaxy Eyes, I ended up shooting the video on my phone and editing it in a way that it looked kind of cool. So I knew that I was going to have to make content for this video, and it was during the pandemic, so we couldn't really get everyone all together. So I had that idea of doing, what a lot of our peers were doing, which was users submitted videos, but I didn't want it to just be, hey, here's a bunch of people singing the song. Like, it had to tell a story, and we had just gone over something. I mean, the song is about invisible diseases and how they affect people, but we were also affected by one of those too, so it was like we wanted to tell our side of that story but get everyone else involved. So it was just an idea that I kind of had and ran with it, and had people send me their videos, and then I put it together. I shot some clips of us playing and just kind of went from there, and it actually ended up we just got our like Spotify end of the year, and that was actually our biggest song of 2021 was Invisible Disease. So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, so it was just one of those things that I had to make it, and and I was just inspired to tell this story the way it came out. And luckily we had a lot of friends and fans that helped submit stuff and really be a part of what we were trying to convey. So I don't know, it's one of those videos that I'm definitely will forever be proud of. Like it kind of it says who we are as people and as bandmates and all that kind of stuff. So I liked that one. It was fun.
What's your plans for 2022?
Let you answer this one because you have the balls.
We eat a lot of chips.
Oh yeah, chips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe pizza. Oh no,
Do you like
burritos. Duh.
Yeah.
Usually before practice, we go and get burritos at a little place around here.
Great stuff. We are working on something. I don't know how much I'm allowed to give away. I think it should
Tell.
mostly be a surprise, but we will have another single on the table very soon. I think we would be releasing it mid-January or so.
Somewhere in there. I mean, it's always up in the air with single releases, but it's something special that he's cooking up. So that's
Working on a little bit of a tune for the band that's a little different than what you're used to.
Hopefully hitting the road in the spring.
That'd
That'd be awesome.
please.
That'd be nice. Yeah, we don't have any tours lined up specifically, but we're working on a few leads to see what happens.
Yeah, and our management, 10 and 8 management, gotta give love to our boy Mishko. He's got us on his Mish list. And
Mishful thinking.
yeah, right. But no, so he sets up all our schedule throughout the year. So it's one of those things that we're just kind of like, we're going to wait and see. I mean, obviously the music industry is still in shambles for all the canceled tours and stuff like that. So it's like this year we just kind of waited our turn of like, we know everyone that's out right now is on tours that were 2 years old. So it's kind of like, let's wait for it to catch back up, and then hopefully we can jump on the train and get back out there, because I think the Affiance tour was our last tour. We went out with our buddies Affiance.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah. They're putting out a new song tomorrow.
Yes.
Shameless plug.
I've heard it. It's really good.
Where could we get a hold of you guys at? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
All of the above.
Yes, everything.
I think TikTok. We're on. Wait, no, we're not on Grinder. No,
Wait, we're not?
you might be.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, yeah, you can find us pretty much anywhere. Just make sure it's Along Came a Spider band if you're Googling it, because otherwise you're gonna get the book or the movie.
Yeah, you get a nice picture of Morgan Freeman.
Mm-hmm. And then usually our handle for everything is ACAS official.
Yeah, I want to say, because I went through and I made that link tree to try to consolidate for the fans. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, obviously streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music.
I always forget those.
Yeah.
Amazon. Amazon Music.
Yeah.
Amazon, yeah.
Yeah, the record just came out, so I mean, even though it charted, like, still go buy it. Like,
Yes, definitely.
We put a lot of and that's the thing, as an independent band, we get the proceeds, so feel free to buy it up, people.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like at least $10 in our bank account.
Yeah,
That'd be
right.
That's all the questions I got. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I don't know, not that I can really think of now. It's always so easy when you're getting asked questions, because you're kind of like, oh, I think I know, but then when you just get the open floor, you're like,
Yeah, how good are we at improvising?
If we ever roll through Pittsburgh on a tour and you let us park in your driveway, me and Joel will cook you breakfast.
That is a fact. It's happened multiple times.
Yep. That's the deal.
And then, yeah, I mean, really, we just want to say thanks to everyone who supported us this year, and
Yeah.
the people that we like doing podcasts like this, because people get to see who we are. We're not just some band that doesn't give a dick. We're kind of like, we love interacting with people and interacting with our fans, interacting with people like yourself. So we do appreciate you having us on.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Randy.
But we did like web, what are they called? Not podcasts. That's what we're doing now. Like live stream. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, we've done some live streams to Twitch, Facebook.
Yeah, and just stuff like that. And that's really fun for us to kind of interact. I mean, it's a different world than what we're kind of old schoolers now, of like, go out there, play the tours, sell the merch and all that kind of stuff. But now you have to include that online presence. So stuff like this really helps us out a lot.
It's racing in my head, a pounding in my chest, the bed is soaked in sweat. I feel it spreading